Good day to you all. We are reporting live from somewhere in Minnesota, bringing you the latest and most important news from around the world.
This is our last week of our Following Jesus series.
That's right. Today we are learning about obeying God.
Oh, I for sure have this one down. I always am obedient. My parents should give me a prize for how obedient I am.
I'm so glad to hear that you're so obedient. It can be hard to always obey. I mean, sometimes I don't always want to do what I know is right.
Well, then, Caleb, I guess this lesson is for you.
All right, let's head on over to our word of the day and big idea.
Today's word of the day is obey. To obey means putting aside what we think is best and do what God tells us to do. Let's say the big idea together. Following Jesus means obeying God. Let's say it again. Following Jesus means obeying God. Great job!
Let's say our memory verse together. Don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourself. Philippians 2, verse 3. Let's say it again. Don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourself. Philippians 2, 3. Great job.
Jesus had 12 disciples. These were men who followed him around wherever he went, and they learned as Jesus taught them. The first 4 of his disciples were fishermen, the brothers Simon and Andrew, and the other brothers James and John. But Jesus also selected 8 other men to be his disciples. Jesus asked a man named Philip to follow him. Philip left to go tell his friend Nathanael that they had found Jesus, the promised Savior from God. But when Nathanael found out that Jesus was from a place called Nazareth, he thought, "Can anything good come from that terrible place?" When Nathanael came to Jesus, Jesus did a miracle by telling him exactly what he had said under the tree, even though Jesus was nowhere near him when he said it. So Philip and Nathanael became Jesus' disciples too. Jesus once saw a man sitting at a tax collector's booth named Levi. Tax collectors were hated because they could collect extra money for themselves and become rich. But Jesus asked Levi to follow him, and he did. Levi became another one of Jesus' disciples. In all, Jesus asked 12 different men to be his disciples: Simon, Andrew, James, John, Philip, Nathanael, Levi, Thomas, Simon, James, Judas, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him.
O-B-E-E-Y, 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 and Jesus wants me to obey.
Wow, that is a great song.
I know.
All right, let's keep discovering why we need to obey God.
Today's word of the day is obey. To obey means putting aside what we think is best and do what God tells us to do. Let's say the big idea together. Following Jesus means obeying God. Let's say it again. Following Jesus means obeying God. Great job!
Let's say our memory verse together. Don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourself. Philippians 2, verse 3. Let's say it again. Don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourself. Philippians 2, 3. Great job.
How many of you have ever seen one of these before? This is a map. A map helps me plan where I'm going. Nowadays, we just enter our destination into our phone and Siri tells us which way to go. But when I was a kid, when we took a road trip, we always had a map to follow. Without the map telling us where the roads were, we would have gotten pretty lost. Who knows where we would have ended up? Probably not at the destination we were going. And we would have all been pretty frustrated and upset. It would have made our trip so much harder. Obeying God is like following a map. When we obey God, it will help us get through life by giving us good directions. Sometimes we may decide to take a wrong turn or detour and go our own way instead of obeying God. But God calls us back on the path that He has laid out for us. We just need to be obedient.
This has been such a great month in the Emmanuel Kids newsroom. We've learned so much about putting others first to follow Jesus.
You're right. We learned all about loving our neighbors, serving others, letting go of pride, forgiving others, and obeying God. Wow, what a month.
You're right, and all of those things remind us to put others first instead of putting ourselves first.
Now I can play my recorder. I've been practicing a lot.
Oh, why not?
Woo! Here we go.
Remember, we need to put others first in order to follow Jesus. You can do it. We'll see you next time in the Emmanuel Kids newsroom, where we bring you the latest happening around the world.
Yeah!